Tonight on Quinnipiac Live, your business education is a critical foundation that will enable you to enjoy long-term success. In tonight's episode, we'll show you what sets Quinnipiac School of Business apart, preparing our students to be the business leaders of tomorrow. Join the conversation. Quinnipiac Live starts now. Hello and welcome to Quinnipiac Live. I'm your host, Katie O'Keefe, and tonight we have a special show planned for you. We welcome those watching us live through the Facebook and YouTube channels. Be sure to give us a like or hit the subscribe button down below on YouTube. If you like this video or ask a question to be entered into our Bobcat prize pack, we'll select one lucky winner at the end of the show. So we invite you to join the conversation by submitting your questions in the comment section below to be answered live on air by our guests. So first, we'll talk a little bit about the Quinnipiac School of Business and what sets it apart from other schools. And joining me now to talk more about that, we have Ariana Burke, Eric Vandermeer, and Dean Michael Taylor. Thank you for joining me.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you.
So my first question is, why did you choose Quinnipiac School of Business and the Accelerated Dual Degree Program? Ariana, can you start us off?
Yeah, so I picked Quinnipiac and the Accelerated Program because I just thought it was a great opportunity because they're offering us 2 degrees in the same 4 years, where any other school you would be getting 1 degree in the same amount of time.
Right. And Eric, why did you choose Quinnipiac School of Business?
When I was looking at schools, I tried to look at the financial side of things, and one of the benefits that Quinnipiac had was their accelerated program, and you are able to transfer your scholarship through into your graduate program, which many schools don't offer, as well as the waiver for January term and summer term credits. You're able to take those extra classes to make up the workload, and you don't have to pay for them, so that was a big bonus.
That's awesome, definitely cost effective for students. And Michael, can you explain a little bit about the requirements to get into the program and what that's like and how Quinnipiac picks those students?
Absolutely. So we're looking for exceptional students who are in the top 20% of their high school graduating class, as well as standardized test scores SAT 1200 or higher or ACT 25 or higher. There's no additional application process for the Accelerated Dual Degree Program, so students who have been admitted to the university who meet these requirements are invited into the program.
And remember to submit your questions in the comment section below to be answered live on air by our guests. So my next question is for Eric and Ariana. How did you guys get acclimated to campus when you first got here? So Ariana, that's a couple years ago for you. So how did you get acclimated?
Yeah, so I opted to live into the living learning cohort for 3+1 students, and I was lucky enough that the girls that lived on my floor, we became really fast friends, and I still live with them today. So that definitely helped acclimate me. Also, just support of the faculty. It was always easy to turn to your professors if I needed help. I met Dean Dean Taylor quickly, and when I have academic problems that I need help with, I feel comfortable going to him, and he helps me get those squared away.
Definitely. And Eric, you mentioned, Ariana, that you live in a learning living community. Eric, I understand you do too right now.
I do currently live in an LLC. That's very helpful for me, as well as others that are in the same boat as me in the program. We have the common room at the end of the hallway where we're able to study and hang out and really just get to know each other and help each other out if we have questions on a test or a quiz or homework. So that's helpful, as well as activities and opportunities for us outside the classroom that are strictly for 3+1 business, whether it's resume review or LinkedIn profiles. They're all very helpful.
And so, Michael, I know that there are team building exercises that students do. Can you explain a little bit about what that is and some of the examples?
Absolutely. So students in the Accelerated Program actually move in as freshmen a few days early compared to the rest of our freshman class at the university. And so we actually go off campus and do some team building events so that the group can get to know each other a little bit better, since they'll be taking so many classes together at an accelerated pace. And then throughout the rest of their 4 years on campus, we do some additional social events just for that specific program.
That's exciting. Eric, have you participated in any of these?
I have. There was the riverboating excursion, which we went up to Hartford, and we were on these big boats. They're called dragon boats, and we were, really just getting to know each other, and we only know each other at that point for 24 hours at the most.
Right. That's really cool. And Ariana, what are some of the extracurriculars that you're involved in on campus?
So I am in SHRM at QU, which is Quinnipiac Student Chapter of Society for Human Resource Management. So through that, we kind of network with local HR professionals, and they come in and share their experiences with us. We also do a sort of resume and LinkedIn workshop, and it really just helps get connected, and it helps students see if they want to go down that path, since we do have human resources as a concentration.
Definitely. And Eric, how would you say how manageable the workload is for students?
I think that since you get right off the start in an accelerated program, it's what you're used to, and it's not like you were able to take a regular course load and only take 5 credits. It's right off the bat you're taking six classes, 18 credits, and it is manageable. There's resources such as the Learning Commons. You're able to meet in the common room and work with people that are in the same boat as you. It is manageable. It is obviously an accelerated program, so it's different than the regular 4-year undergraduate degree, but it's nothing that you can't handle.
Definitely. And now we have a question from one of our viewers. Jess asks, I want to start my own business after I graduate. Do you offer any resources to help me do this? Michael, can you speak to that a little bit?
Absolutely. So one of the resources we have on campus here in the School of Business is our Center for Innovation and Entrepreneurship. It's available obviously for student entrepreneurs as well as community members that are interested in learning more about starting their own business, and actually provide some resources in terms of helping students create business plans and get their businesses off the ground. And that is not just available for entrepreneurship majors, it's available for all students on campus.
That's awesome. And we have another question for you from one of our viewers. Sharon asks, how many students are accepted into the program each year?
We don't set a hard limit on the number of students that are accepted into the program. It depends on our total admission pool, so I don't have a specific number in mind, but we're looking for the best and the brightest.
Definitely. And another question for you. Can you explain a little bit about the GAME forum? It's something very popular in our School of Business, and I know students are interested in it. So can you explain what it is exactly?
Absolutely. The GAME forum, GAME stands for Global Asset Management Education. It is an annual conference held down in New York City, and it is the world's largest student-focused investment conference. And so we have students from Quinnipiac who help run the conference, but we have students coming from all over the country, and in fact all over the world, with some of their faculty members from other universities to come learn about finance and asset management. And so we've got guest speakers coming from the financial industry. It's a 3-day-long event, and students really get a lot out of it.
And now we have another question from one of our viewers, and she asks, what is the difference between accelerated dual degree 3+1 and the dual degree 4+1? Michael, can you answer this again?
Sure. So the accelerated dual degree 3+1 has students completing their undergraduate degree in just 3 years, and then in their 4th year completing their graduate degree. The 4+1 has students going on the traditional 4-year undergraduate track, just like you would at any university, and then stay on for a 5th year as a full-time graduate student.
Wow, so a lot of different things. Students can really plan out their
Absolutely.
routes for college. So Ariana, what are some of the unique type of programs that you would say are part of the School of Business that you're involved in?
So I'm involved in a small club called Microlending, and at this club we provide small business loans for local entrepreneurs and small businesses, and we also are providing small loans to businesses in Nicaragua because I don't know if you know, they're going through some financial turmoil currently. So Quinnipiac has a good relationship with a community in Nicaragua, and we want to keep that going. We're no longer allowed to travel there, but we can still help out their community by providing these funds to small business owners.
And can you talk a little bit about the Human Resources organization that we have?
Yeah, so we have a concentration in human resources under the management major. So through that, you get to take different classes that specialize in human resources. And then by joining SHRM at QU, you'll be able to meet other students in the concentration, and it's just a really great way to get involved. We also are closely tied to Connecticut's chapter of SHRM. So that really helps meet local HR people in the area.
That's great. A lot of opportunity for students to get involved with the community. It's great for business
Great networking
students.
opportunities.
Definitely. Well, thank you for joining me tonight. That's all the questions we have for this segment. But don't go anywhere. We have another segment coming up talking about study abroad and immersion trips and more. Come visit our campus. There are so many opportunities for you to visit the Quinnipiac community for yourself. For more information on upcoming open houses, preview days, admitted students days, and more, visit qu.edu/studentslive. And don't miss your opportunity to win a customized Quinnipiac School of Business Bobcat prize pack. Like this video by the end of the live show or submit one of your questions, and we'll select one lucky winner live at the end of the show. At Quinnipiac, we offer experiences both in the classroom, outside the classroom, and even beyond Quinnipiac to better shape our students. And who better to talk about that than some students who have been abroad? With me are Catherine DeMary and Brett Oztech. Thank you guys for joining me.
Thank you for having us.
So my first question, Catherine, if you could get us started, where did you study abroad and what was your experience like?
So I was really lucky because I was able to study abroad in 3 different places. So I studied abroad for 4 months in Florence, Italy. I studied abroad doing a service trip to the Dominican Republic, and I also went with the MBA program to Japan. And all 3 programs gave me a really cool business perspective.
And what did you learn going to each of these different countries?
So each country offered a little bit of something different. So when I went to the Dominican, I was able to really work one-on-one with small business owners. And when I went to Japan, I was able to see corporate side of things. So then when I was studying abroad in Italy, I was completely immersed in different culture, and I got to balance a whole bunch of different things with school, work, and studying abroad.
Wow, that's awesome. And you mentioned work, so I understand that you have a business. Can you talk a little bit about that, being abroad, managing your business, and what that was like?
Yeah. So I run a business back here in the States. So when I went abroad, it was kind of a little difficult with the time change, but it was really beneficial to be able to do both because I was able to learn a lot of time management skills and how to be resilient because I wanted to be able to travel a lot and make the most of my time.
Definitely, that's hard. And what did you learn from doing that experience?
Overall, I think I just was able to spread my wings and really figure out what I love doing, and I figured that business is definitely my place to be.
And what is it that you love doing?
The marketing aspect of things, and I like being able to travel around and just experiencing a whole bunch of different cultures, and at the same time learning was pretty cool.
That's awesome. And for Brett, where did you study abroad, and what were your experiences like?
So I went on a 2-week trip to Barcelona, Spain. That was my abroad. We studied architecture as well as the real estate market over there.
Wow. So studying architecture, that's a little off from business, but you said that relates to real estate. Can you explain that relationship?
Yeah, so after graduation, I'll be working at Prudential in their chief investment office. And when we do our due diligence on investments, some of them are abroad in places like Spain. So having that background of the architecture and the value in those assets from the ancient architecture there was a really, really valuable experience for me.
And what did you learn from your internship at Prudential?
I learned a ton about the asset allocation within the portfolios that Prudential manages, and also the relationship with the liability management that they have to do when people have to pay out claims.
And Brett, we have a question here from one of our viewers, and she asks, what are some of the most influential projects that 3+1 students take part in?
I would have to say the Capstone project. During your Capstone, you will do the business strategy game, which is a simulation, and this requires you to work in a group of 4, and you're basically managing a small bike company, actually a shoe company rather, and that's a really good experience. It allows you to tie a lot of your foundational coursework together and apply it all in a business setting.
And Catherine, you were nodding your head. You agree that that's probably one of the most influential projects?
Yeah, it was really cool. I'm a 4+1 student here, and when you come in as a business student, you have a Mike's Bike simulation, which kind of kicks things off. Then your Capstone project with this shoe company is really cool because it kind of ties everything together and gives you a bigger perspective after learning for 4 years.
Wow, so your Capstone is just a big project that you finish before you graduate?
Yeah.
Wow. And so what is the Center for Women in Business?
So I currently work at the Center for Women in Business, and we host a lot of networking events, and we really involve the outside community with the student body, so it really helps our students build a network for their futures.
And so going off a little off topic from School of Business, because you are students here, Brett, what would you say is your favorite thing to do on campus?
I'd say play basketball in the rec center. I have a lot of fun
Yeah.
there, and I'm a pretty competitive guy, so that allows me to, exert my energy.
Right, definitely. Get away from the studying a little bit. And Catherine, what about you?
I'm really into intramural sports, so I played soccer on an intramural team all 4 years, and I dabbled in a little bit of basketball, a little bit of volleyball, so
Very
a lot of
nice.
fun.
That's awesome. And now, can you explain a little bit about microlending in the School of Business?
Yeah, so when I went to the Dominican Republic, it was on a microlending trip. So we were able to go down to the Dominican and see how small business owners really use their resources. And we were able to just kind of get a feel for business in a different country. So it was really cool seeing that was my first international trip, first time on a plane, all that good stuff. So,
Wow, that's exciting.
Yeah, it was really cool that the school gave me that opportunity.
That is awesome. Well, thank you for all of your insight. That's all the time we have. But don't go anywhere, because we have another segment coming up about student outcome and internships. So come visit our campus. There are so many opportunities for you to see the Quinnipiac community for yourself. For more information on upcoming open houses, preview days, admitted students days, and more, visit qu.edu/studentslive. And don't miss your opportunity to win a customized Quinnipiac School of Business Bobcat prize pack. Like this video by the end of the live show, and we'll select one lucky winner at the end. And remember, submit your questions too to enter into the Bobcat prize pack, and for your questions to be answered live on air by our guests. Quinnipiac prepares students for the 21st century both in and outside the classroom, and one way we like to do that is through internship experience. Joining me now are Franklin Ramsey and Zach Leichter. Thank you guys for joining me.
Lovely. It's a pleasure to be here.
Thank you. So my first question for Zach, what internships have you had and what did you learn from them?
So my first internship I had was at the Connecticut Open, working in the ticket office. So I learned a lot. It was like my first real world experience. We worked in an office of 30 people, and that was just a lot of hands-on customer service and selling tickets, and just mostly customer service. My next one was at the Xfinity Theater in Wallingford, so it was a really good way to learn about the community. We were dealing with premium seats, so a lot of sponsors in the area, big ticket advertisers, so it was mostly customer service, especially with higher ups in the companies. And then my last internship I had was with a family business, helping with sales, marketing, and working in the warehouse as well.
Wow, so how would you say that those experiences transferred over to your courses here in the School of Business?
So I'd say I could definitely take what I learned in the classroom and apply it, and I feel that I have, I'd say, extra knowledge that I can relate what I learned in class to real world experience, and I think that really helps me understand concepts very well.
Definitely a leg up in the classroom, which helps students regardless. And Franklin, what about you? What are your internships and what did you learn from them?
So I first served as a risk management fellow at the town of Hamden in the risk management department. I then went to Nitsalis, which is the IT firm for edible arrangements, where I served as a systems technician intern. And then I interned at Deloitte, serving in the risk advisory practice.
And so I understand you know a little bit about the Central European Institute. Can you explain that a little bit?
Yes. So the Central European Institute is in the School of Business, is an institute of its own, and they promote basically Eastern and Central European values and business relations for the university. I'm actually connected to them through a program I'm doing this summer. So in July, I'm actually going to Poland to teach English at a camp to Polish kids there.
That's really exciting.
I know, I'm looking forward to it. And I heard about it through the Central European Institute. They gave me guidance to apply to the program, and they also offer scholarships to help with logistics to the program as well.
Wow. So what interested you to apply to that program in the European Institute?
Yes, so I have been to Europe a few times, and I have never done a study abroad. So I wanted to have in my collegiate career, have some connection through academia to Europe, and specifically Central or Eastern Europe. And hearing about the teaching in English in Poland program felt like the best opportunity for me to actually go to Europe or go to Central Eastern Europe and be able to exercise what I've used in the classroom in like experiential learning as well.
That's awesome. So remember, if you're watching, to submit your questions in the comment section below, and they will be answered live on air by our guest. And speaking of which, we do have a question from one of our viewers, and Sharon asks, how many students take part in the game forum, and what do they do?
So I think it's about around 1,500 students take part in the game forum.
Wow.
And that takes place in New York City. And we actually had the opportunity as well to tap the bell at the stock exchange and kind of start the day. So it was pretty great experience all around, getting to work with people from all different universities and all different business backgrounds.
That's awesome. And I hear the game forum's coming up. Zach, are you going?
Unfortunately, I am not going this year.
Oh, okay. Well, you have gone in past years. How many times have you gone?
So I have gone twice, actually. So obviously the first time I went, it was kind of a new experience, but I learned a lot from the other people who had been before, and then the second time it was a lot better of an experience, and I was like able to get more hands-on, and I think it was, I don't know, just more successful in general.
That's awesome, and thank you guys for your time, and thank you for joining me.
It's a good time.
And that ends our Quinnipiac Live business episode, but be sure to visit our campus and come see the Quinnipiac community for yourself. Before we leave you, we have drawn a name from all of the likes on the video, and our lucky winner of the Bobcat prize pack is Sharon Roch. Congratulations, and Sharon, please email us at socialmedia@qu.edu to collect your prize. Congratulations, and thanks for watching. In the meantime, we hope to see you on one of our campuses.